Welcome to Just Minding My Business Radio, where we are moving at the speed of God, learning what we didn't know we didn't know. I'm your host, Ida Crawford, so grab a pen and paper and get ready for information that you can use.
Welcome to another episode of Just Minding My Business. I hope you had an amazing day. And I'm your host, Ida Crawford.
And I'm your co-host, Ruth Haskins.
And today we're doing a little free form kind of thing, Ruth and I. And basically I received an email from Inc. that talked about the difference between marketing, advertising, and branding. And the author of this is Peter Gaska. And I kind of got really interested. The title definitely caught me. So I went on to read it, and very, very interesting analogy that this author brought into place. And one of the things that he talked about is marketing is how you see yourself. So it's your image. So, for example, he uses an example in terms of the Star Wars shirt in his article, and how this one particular person wore this Star Wars shirt all the time. And basically, what that said to people looking at that, number one, he was a fan of not marketing, but Star Wars, and he probably had a lot of memorabilia and things like that pertaining to Star Wars. And the gentleman went on to say, it's your personal appearance. Marketing is your personal appearance. So it's basically how you want others to perceive your company when you think about your company. So Ruth, what did you take away from that article on that part of the marketing piece?
Well, marketing, I really like the example of the Star Wars shirt. Because it means that someone, when they present themselves that way, it's how they see themselves and how they want others to see them. And it is pretty much, even if you don't do anything about your personal appearance, it's a strategy in itself. It's a marketing strategy. So when we develop our business, we really have to pay attention, so to speak, as to how we dress our business. That's what I got from that. What is the image that I want my business to project? What is it that I want, how do I see my business? How do I want other people to see me? But it begins with really, how do I see my business? And that in itself takes time. We need to sit down, maybe discuss with other people who are close to us in the work that we're doing, brainstorming, whatever, to see actually how I view my business. That's what I get from marketing.
Yes, and he also went on to say it should your marketing strategy should convey your vision and the values of your business, which, every time people see your company information, they should also see in your words or in your presentation your values as well as your vision.
Yes. And this is where I think in the way that we dress our company is also where our logo comes in. That's where it's so important to have someone design your logo for you, or if you're capable of doing it yourself, you really think about what is the image that I want people to see. Because your logo is the one snapshot that people get of who you think you are.
Yes, and we talked about that with in one of our broadcasts with Penji, who is a graphics company, and that was one of the things that we talked about in that conversation was, your logo, your marketing, how you want to look. And I think he described it as when you have on a suit, and you're all dressed up and everything, and how you change your walk. Your walk is different. Everything is different when you are fully dressed. And that pertains to your company as well. And one of the things that I'm very particular about is making sure everything matches. I'm like, my letterhead has to have that. All of my marketing material has to show my vision and my value on it when I send it out. And everything has to be matching for me.
Yep. It's about consistency. I think that's what you're talking about, that consistent image that you project. And so often it takes time to get all that together. So this is not to discourage anyone who's listening to this and just starting out and thinking, but I don't have all that. It's okay. It's a process. It is a process. And you find that many companies evolve that dressing of their company over a period of time. It doesn't come all at once because the company itself is growing and changing. So if you're just starting out and you're hearing this, just relax because it's a process.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And then the other thing he talked about in this article is advertising. And basically he describes that as advertising is how you act in public. So I really like that. Mm-hmm. I really like the way he put that because it basically describes your actions. So, in other words, it's so marketing.
Because when you are out in public, we all want to act in a certain way. And so, as a result, if you don't act in a certain way, the image that you project becomes skewered. Also, if you show up, as Ida just said, dressed in, you've got on your best suit, your best tie, brand new shirt, or you're dressed in shoes and everything is all wonderful, and you show up in the wrong place, it also detracts from who and what your company is. So advertising is really how your company, where you place your company in the eyes of the public. Are you going to bring them to your company to, so to speak, to a billiard room? Or are you going to bring your company to Tiffany's, okay? Where you place your company, the audience that you bring your company before is very, very important. Because if you don't put it in the right place, if you don't place your company in the right place, anything that you do, any marketing that you do, any branding that you do is going to be of no value whatsoever.
Mm-hmm. Right, exactly. And then he also talks about not only the wrong places, but the wrong message and tone at the wrong times, and also to the wrong audience. So when we're out there doing our advertising, of our business, we have to look at, we have to be mindful of, are we talking to the right people? And that goes back to your niche. How are we saying it? And I've observed some business owners who they seem to always be very, very excited about their business, and that excitement just kind of jumps right out on you. and their message and their tone kind of makes you interested in what they're talking in their company because of the way that they're talking to you about it. You can hear the excitement. You can hear the passion. You can hear all of the things that their company stands for in their voice. And it makes you want to know more about the company.
That's very true.
But then there's also the wrong time.
Yes.
To talk about.
Mm-hmm. And that is, again, putting yourself in front of the right audience. And sometimes we don't do that. We don't think about it. We're so eager just to get our business out there that we take any venue. If it comes up and it's what we call an opportunity for exposure, we show up. And sometimes it doesn't always work, and we wonder why we may not have a really good event or really good time in a particular venue, because it's the wrong time, the wrong place, the wrong people. And along with that, this whole idea of business advertising, one of the things that we need to be very careful of, especially in a small business, because we don't have a lot of capital to work with. Some of us have zero capital, and so we try to do everything ourselves. Part of advertising is the written word. And if it's not always written, it's the spoken word. This is where it comes in, and it's very important that we look at our language skills. Because, again, the right message delivered with the wrong words doesn't come across as the right message. This is the part that copywriting comes in. And someone who is good at copywriting can make such a difference in the message that your business sends out. It's also what's going to capture the public's interest. The same way, again, going back to the way that we dress. If you have on shoddy shoes and, your hair is uncombed and you go out there and you open your mouth and all kinds of nonsense comes out, people will back away from your product, from your business. By the same position, if you're well-dressed, well-groomed, and when you open your mouth to speak, what comes out makes sense, grabs their attention, then you're putting your business, your company, into the best perspective so that the public will grab hold of it. That's where advertising is so different now. I mean, everything now is so digital, but still some of the best advertising, people rate it on the Super Bowl. That was really good, that was really bad. There are commercials that are out now that we look at and we say, oh, that was really horrible. And there are others that are really good. And it's not just the visuals that you're seeing, it's the words. And you especially see that if you listen to radio. Radio, you can tell the really good copy because the words carry the message without the visuals. And that's how powerful your writing, your advertising, the written word, the spoken word has to be. It has to be good without the visuals.
Yes.
So I just wanted
to throw that in there. And a lot of times, that's so true, Ruth. And a lot of times, as a startup business, we don't necessarily have those skills. Mm-hmm. It may sound good to you, but it may not be the right languaging to promote your company. And to me, you definitely want to probably get a second opinion, maybe even a third.
Yes.
To make sure that you are talking the way that you need to talk.
Yes.
So if you're doing a business and you're dealing with executives, then they're busy people. So you need to be able to definitely get to the point and make sure your vision and your value is in that conversation.
Uh-huh. And they say that, you should be able to deliver that in, let's say, 3 to 4 sentences at the most, so that it's clear, it's out there, they get it, and they can respond to it. And that takes some work. That's going to take some work. And I like what you said, get somebody else's opinion. Even if you get a friend who's also in business, perhaps, and read it to them over the telephone. Let them tell you what they're hearing. Let them tell you what you can take out, what you need to add. You need another ear. You need another set of eyes. Absolutely. Especially if you don't have the funds to go out and hire a copywriter.
Yes, and that's so funny you talking about this, because just the other day I had wrote up a letter that I plan on to send out to business owners. And I wrote it up, and then I got somebody else involved to critique it. And we, some things were good and some things wasn't good, and we changed it around a little bit. And now I have something that I can send out.
Yes, that's good. That's absolutely the right way to do it. And we all need to pay attention to it, because sometimes we fall in love with our own words. And, we need to be willing to scrap them for something better.
Absolutely. So the last point that he talked about is the branding. And that is, the branding is how others see you. So basically he goes on to say, your marketing strategy should assess and consider your personal brand. If you have a strong brand, you can spend more time building on it. If you have reputation problems, however, you need to focus on rebuilding or changing perceptions. So that was pretty deep. So branding is how others see you.
Right. And I like what he says at the very beginning. Marketing is how you want others to see you. Star Wars shirt, not washed for years. Or branding is how they actually do see you. Now, you may be comfortable wearing that Star Wars shirt for years, and you may not recognize how others really see you. So branding is how they actually see you. That Star Wars shirt, you're thinking you're really cool, you've got this really, by now, almost a classic T-shirt that may be worth some money. That's how you want others to see you, but that may not be how they actually see you. That's where the branding comes in. They may brand you as someone who is slovenly, unkempt, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So now let's talk about branding.
So basically, understanding how consumers perceive your business is crucial for how you decide to execute a marketing and advertising strategy. So all of that plays hand in hand. So it was a good article, and it was something I needed to see, because I believe in business we should always be assessing what we're doing. And if we're doing it the right way.
And there's always information out there. There's more information coming out every day. Let's face it, Google is the entree to a lot of information. And if we've started something and we're not going out there and researching how to do things better, we're going to fall behind, because this whole concept of marketing and branding and advertising is shifting every day. There's something new. There's something has changed. And if you're not keeping up with it, you kind of like get lost in the sauce. There's no doubt about it. And right now, marketing, advertising, branding, what is the difference? What are the differences? And how do you take that information and apply it to what you're doing right now? And that takes a little bit of humility to just pull it all out and say, okay, well, my marketing isn't doing very well, and this isn't doing well, and this isn't right, and then be willing to move things around. One of the things I wanted to talk about, too, Ida, and you can talk about this, address this very well. We should be finished in just a second, but could you talk about where your social media falls in?
Okay, well, the social media ties, to me, it ties all of that together. Okay, it's your action, the advertising piece, because a lot of times when you're on social media, you're marketing or you're advertising either an event that you're coming up with or some kind of product or service that you're providing, that kind of thing. But at the same time, you need to make sure that you are staying focused to your vision and your values in your marketing, in your advertising. So basically, this article kind of like brings it together quite simply, because you want to make sure your marketing looks good, and it fits your business. That's the other thing. A lot of times when I go to a website and it's all this flashing stuff, I quickly click right off. Because if I'm going to a website, I'm going there for information. Okay. Not bright lights, not a whole bunch of flashing stuff. I'm trying to find something. I'm looking for something that can support me in my business. Whether it be an article, whether it be a product that I might need, or a service that I might need. So when I'm doing websites, I think it should be very simple, and should definitely have all three of these pieces in there: your marketing, your advertising, and your branding. Okay. And it should be clear. Yes. So that people can understand exactly where you're coming from. Mm-hmm. What the purpose of the website is. So I'm thinking, Ida, I know we're just about out of time. Maybe this is another subject that we can talk about, websites, at another time, to help people get an idea of what a website is really supposed to be, how it's put together, and I know that you do that very, very well. So I'm thinking that's another one of those Inside the Mind of JMMB radio kinds of shows. Yeah. I just wanted to, since we had a little free time here, I just wanted to share this article with our listening audience to, and to give them an opportunity to go back and look at what they're doing, because I know I do that all the time, because sometimes we're just moving, and we're really not paying attention to, are we connecting the dots properly? Right. I totally agree. Yeah, so it's having that time to reflect back, and I don't know why I jumped up in my email, and this article was right there, and I was like, oh, okay, let me just check this out. And, this guy really made it very, very simple. Marketing, how you see yourself, advertising, how you act in the public, branding, how others see you. Can't be so simple as you can get. Mm-hmm. And, I can see myself now taking those headliners, the branding, advertising, and marketing, and actually typing them out and putting them up so I can see them, so that as I work on my product, I keep those issues in mind. Because like you said, this is simple. I really like this. Thank you so much for this. Yes, this is definitely, brings everything in line. And for anybody just starting a business, this is some good information to expand upon. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Well, so we are at the bottom of the hour, and we appreciate you stopping by for our little brainstorm here, collaboration. And I hope this information brings value and support to you in your business.
Thank you for being with us.
This show is brought to you by the amazing women of a Sister Circle Empowerment Network, ASCEN LLC, where we are never in competition, but always in collaboration, and our valued sponsors. Learn more about our sponsors and their services and membership in a Sister Circle, ASCEN LLC, at www.assistercircle.org. To learn about becoming a sponsor for Just Minding My Business Radio and how our marketing package benefits your company, please visit our website at www.assistercircle.org. Voiceovers by RCH VoiceWorks. Contact slvoiceworks8201 at yahoo.com or call 443-620-4115.
Thank you for tuning in to Just Minding My Business Radio. I'm your host, Ida Crawford. We hope you enjoyed the show and appreciate you stopping by. Many blessings to you and yours.